I'm tired of trying to take interesting pictures to post on social media when I've had a shitty day. I'm tired of vying for attention to try to let the world know where I'm next going to play. I'm tired of shouting at the government about their total lack of empathy and many, many wrongs. I'm tired of dealing with the arseholes in my comments. I just want to write silly songs. What ho, folks, Thomas Benjamin Wild, Esquire. I do hope you're all keeping very well. This is song number 34 in my Song a Week project, which I wrote a little while ago. I just feeling a little bit exhausted with the world and with everything, particularly for us creative types. It's a bit of a weird one because we do the creative thing and then we then have to go and market it and promote it. And that seems to be the thing that we spend most of the time doing these days. So social media, yes, it's very important. And yes, it's been very important for what I do, but it gets exhausting, as does constantly having to try and get people's attention to promote live shows and that kind of thing. I don't want to complain too much about it because I love doing what I do, but it does get exhausting sometimes, as does having to shout constantly at the government about the awful crap that they're doing, as well as dealing with arseholes in the comments. So I just thought it was quite a nice little ditty that summed up how I'm feeling at the moment about various things within the world. So I do hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you can relate to it in some way. I played this on my Duke 10 banjolele. If you're interested in getting hold of one of these yourself, details can be found in the description below the video. You can go to their website and you can actually get a bit of a discount if you follow the link through below. Thank you for all the comments and questions from last week's video, which was, of course, about all the boring shit that I get up to on a daily basis that other people don't generally get to see. So lots of lovely responses here. There is also responses to some of the things that I said about the American elections, which we'll go into a little bit as well as we get to them. There are certain things when I post a video that I can predict that people are going to comment on, and generally kind of in relation to the song that I'm posting. I quite often have to think long and hard about whether I want to have the discussions about those things. Last week, I knew that there would be somebody somewhere would comment about the fact that I use margarine. And somebody somewhere would comment about the fact that I have the BBC on in terms of the news. And both of those things happened. So I'm kind of doing a little bit of song comment bingo at the moment in terms of what things people are going to say in the comments on the various social media accounts when the video is posted. And so those were the two things I was predicting last week. This week, I'm pretty sure somebody's going to talk about shouting at the government and how maybe I don't do enough of it. I don't know. That's my paranoia with this, is that I don't do enough shouting at the government and maybe I need to do more. The other thing I predict is that somebody's going to tell me that I could just get off social media and not be posting every day, which I kind of agree with. I could do that, but I do kind of rely on it to be able to carry on and function and get my work out there. So those are my predictions. So David G5898 says, I didn't expect you to see my comment being read. Yes, it was pedantic. And yes, I agree with you that I prefer an extra hour of evening light too. All of that said, your music has been a comfort following an absurd election. My first text to a friend after the winner was clear was, well, this is shit. Yeah. I get the feeling there's going to be various comments about the American election in this because I brought it up last week. I was going to post, well, this is shit, but I thought it might be a little bit of me kind of taking an opportunity there to try and make money. And I don't want to try and capitalise on it because I know it is shit. Auntie Rana says, 100% relatable. This is a great reminder that all people much more alike than we are different. Thank you for your supportive words. I keep thinking about Brexit and the fiasco that ensued because voters were not thinking ahead, dreading the upcoming consequences. Yeah, I absolutely agree with that. I think I understand the place where it's all coming from. I do completely understand that. And I just think that people got the answer wrong, if that makes sense. That people were looking for something to make things better, and that wasn't it. And things haven't got better since then. In fact, they've got measurably worse. And I worry what's going to happen in America. So, yeah, absolutely. KYCZY1 says, thank you for the lovely song about the invisible duties of adulting. I, too, feel like I don't understand people anymore. And you laid it out clearly with compassion. Thank you very much for that. I do try to do that. I don't want anyone to feel kind of crap or like that I'm kind of being condescending or anything like that. I honestly trying to understand and trying to put my opinion across, really. Hawk Heel Fowl says, considering how divided we all are, especially over here in the US, it's really nice to be reminded that a lot of us share the common humanity with the boring stuff. I too get stuck on hold listening to bad music from the bank. Thanks for keeping us grounded. I appreciate it. Well, thank you very much for that. That's a lovely comment there. James Wright 4322 says, Thomas, when you didn't post last weekend, so not last weekend, the weekend before, I was concerned that you might have been ill since you'd mentioned having a touch of a cold the week before. Yes, no, I'm recovering from that now. Happy to hear that that wasn't the case. Your reason for not posting was quite understandable, though. Question, what was the most inconvenient circumstance under which you wrote a song? I actually write songs under quite inconvenient circumstances anyway, as part of my creative process. Generally, I come up with lyric ideas while I'm out walking the dog or when I'm in the bathroom. Those tend to be the places where those ideas come, or when I'm lying in bed and I can't get to sleep. And so actually, I've got lots and lots of recordings on my phone of me whistling a little tune. And you can hear traffic noise and you can hear kind of outside noise in the background because I'm walking the dog. And there's one on my phone at the moment where you can actually hear the dripping of the of the shower in the background as well, because I try and get them down as soon as I come up with them so I don't forget them. So if I come up with a little tune or a few lyrics, I'm quite often with my phone just kind of recording something or trying to jot down some lyrics. And that's quite inconvenient sometimes because sometimes the dog's pulling away or doing something else. I have to be quite careful with that. Or I'm just in a very, very strange position to be doing that. So hopefully that answers your question. K Hub Black Con Lonk 4480. Apologies for the pronunciation of that. These are quite difficult sometimes. I've been moving home this week, and after all the uproar, I can say I'm feeling a quiet joy in doing the ordinary boring shit again. No, absolutely. I always find that when I've been away doing something or being out doing shows and things like that, actually coming back home and just doing some boring crap really does help me level back out again. And so I think it's really important. That boring shit is pretty vital for life. So Heather the Hylian 627, I think that's how you pronounce it, says, stunned you responded to two of my comments. My name is a reference to The Legend of Zelda and the Hylians, like Link and Zelda. I've never played Zelda, so I don't know. I've been saying Hylian. So Hylian, is it? Is that right? Is that correct? Tell me if I'm correct there, and I'll get it right next time. I'm actually thinking of going to the chippy today, so I'll brave that dark and cold for some good old comfort food. Yes, so you mentioned last week that in the last video that during those cold things, it's about going out in the dark and having to get food. So good luck with that. Real Tal says, nice hair, mate. What's the occasion? I'd had it cut. I decided I should show it off and not put the hat on. I'd had it cut because it had got a little bit crazy and wild. And I always leave it too long. So I thought I'd take advantage and not have to wear a hat. The reason I wear the hat so much in the video, though, is because when I want to put my headphones on, it messes the hair up. So if I'm trying to do a sound check, I have to constantly brush my hair after putting the headphones on. There we go. A little behind-the-scenes information there. Mark Woodham75 says, love your music, but out of touch with how people feel in this country. Forget politics, please. No, I will not forget politics. I think it's very important that we're all able to talk about it. I don't feel like I'm out of touch with how people feel. I do understand how people feel with that. I just think they've made a mistake in voting for that particular person, that guy. Okay. I understand that people have a strong feeling about things. But also, I get a little bit tired of people telling me not to talk politics. Because I've just got as much right as anybody else to talk politics. So I will continue to do it. So there we go. As I always say, make sure you keep the questions and comments coming. It always makes these videos a lot more interesting. Hopefully we won't have so many about the American election next week, but, potentially we will, and we'll carry on discussing it. So yeah, keep those questions and comments coming. So some rather exciting news about the new album. It is finished now. Currently being mastered and mixed. I'm getting the artwork finished today, which is fantastic. So the title of it, quite aptly, is Carry On While the World Burns. Now, that wasn't my intention. It wasn't intended to be released off the back of the American elections, the US elections, but it's coincided with it. And so, yes, the title track is the only track that I've not posted as a Song of Week song or kind of on social media yet. I may do that in the next couple of weeks. If you're interested in hearing it all before anybody else, then you can join my Patreon community for as little as £3 a month, where you get all kinds of exclusive access to things, including the demo tracks and the album tracks before anybody else does. I'm also going to be sharing the artwork with them this week as well. So if you're interested in seeing that before other people, get on over there. The link is in the description. Now, next week, I'm going to be posting details of my first shows for 2025. So they'll be going out on the mailing list and on social media early next week. And then tickets for all of them will be on sale by the end of next week. So keep an eye out for that. In the meantime, the remainder of my shows for 2024. This Sunday, I will be in Winchester with my band, the Fancy Chaps, and the fantastic Sweet Chunks Band at the Railway Inn. We'll also be joined by a great local artist named Alex Jeffrey. So that should be really good fun. Come along to that. It's going to be a really good show. And then on the 7th of December, I'm going to be in Brighton or Hove at the Brunswick again with my band, the Fancy Chaps, and the Sweet Chunks Band. It would be lovely to see you at either of those shows. Then the following week, I'm intending for the album to be launched on the Friday. Okay, so it should be released on Friday the 13th. And then on Sunday the 15th of December, I'm going to be performing at the Green Duck in Tunbridge Wells again. And I'll probably be playing through the entirety of the album during that and potentially videoing it as well. So if you're interested in coming along to Tunbridge Wells, make sure you get in there with the tickets. You can find details of all the shows in the link in the description below the video. It would be lovely to see you at one of those. As I mentioned before, if you're interested in getting hold of the Duke 10 Banjolele, details can be found in the description, as can details of all the shows I've got coming up and of how to join my Patreon community as well. It'd be lovely to see you doing any of those things. In the meantime, stay safe, and until next time, toodle pip.